Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Despite all the rumors, I'm still alive.
Still alive, baby. Still alive.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I was rolling out of my birthday, feeling pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Arctic storm hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens.
Fucking took the wind right out of my sails.
Yeah, that'll do it. No more sailing. Smooth sailing is what they would say.
I mean, we hope.
I don't know. I'm in some wacky position. We had Jeep issues, so.
Hey, man, I'm okay with, anytime something crazy happens at the beginning of the year, I just take it as we're just getting the shit out of the way early.
That's a good way to look at it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's let's get all the bullshit out of the way.
Yeah.
And then, we'll just continue with, the rest of the year.
See, that's a beautiful.
Unscathed.
That's a beautiful way to look at it, right? When you're raised by a mostly Catholic Mexican lady, right?
All doomsday.
It's all fucking, this is that, right? She's just like, well, I guess we know how this year's going to go.
I had a buddy in high school, Jose. His family was devout Catholic. They were Mexican, and his mom was just
pure doomsday.
They were like, hey, do you want to go to mass with us? And I'm like, sure, Yeah. First of all, unbeknownst to me,
right.
I didn't know it was going to be 4 hours.
It's 4 hours. A lot of calisthenics too. You're up,
you're up, down, kneeling.
You're up, you're back up. You're shaking hands. You're saying
doing the Hail Mary, doing all that stuff.
A lot of cult repeating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, just when to chime in.
His mom got mad at me because I was like, yo, and I don't know, and I just didn't coin this term, but it's been known before. But it just came to mind. She goes, and they were like, what did you think? I was like, I mean, it's kind of like a lot of fire and brimstone.
A lot of.
And then she was just like, oh, no. She was done with me after that.
They dipped out now, right? That's not their message anymore. And it infuriates me. And okay.
Well, yeah, hey, look. Yeah, at some point, they were going to have to rebrand.
Right. And it makes me, as a human being, happy, right, for the world. But as a person who went through it all, even with my foster families and all the things, it's
kind of like when your parents are fucking strict on you, and then you have grandkids and they just let them fucking run free. No rules.
I was watching. This was before the newest pope, right? It was like a little interim, and he's talking, and they were saying something, and they had a couple good comedians from the '90s interviewing him, and he was just like, "What was that?" And they were like, "Well, do right and get confessions before you go to hell." And the guy's like, "Hell?" He's like, no, that's the old thing. And they were like, what? And he's like, yeah, we don't teach that anymore. It's like, oh, really?
We're a little looser on the terms of hell.
And he was like, no, we don't do that, brimstone going to hell business anymore. And he's all like old Italian guy. He's like, oh, no, we don't have to do it. And they're like,
it was like,
dude,
2,000 years. That was the brand.
Exactly. And both comedians were like, well, you maybe should have sent out a memo to the rest of the and they were like, well, no, you go to mass, you see. And it's like, no, it's too late.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm programmed and guilty.
It's kind of like Chef Boyardee just going, hey, we're making beer now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? We're just taking a fucking 180.
Oh, I didn't know we were. I thought we were. You guys don't make noodles? I thought we were noodles and sauce.
We're making beer now.
Oh, okay. What did you tell anybody?
Yeah.
What's about the shit? Do you still have the noodles? It's like, no.
Well, you have to know that, look, every generation, I'm sure the greatest generation, as great as they were, a lot tougher on their children. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And then those grandparents bred, well, at least my mom, and I was a single mom. I didn't have a dad around.
Right.
But, she tried to be just clamping down. And it didn't,
right.
And I maybe I'm a bad example, but I saw other kids that I grew up with who had both parents at home had dads.
Yeah.
And they were kind of tough.
Right.
But they weren't as tough as the ones before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then we think that they're being tough on us and they're being unfair to us. And so in the next sense, in our generation, our children, I mean, I assume I don't have any children, but I've seen it. Enough evidence that, it's like it's losing steam every generation. And then you get here where, you got these fucking kids acting crazy in the street.
Right.
When even in our era, we'd have got our ass beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we weren't hard on my daughter at all. Like there are moments where she'll tell you she thinks we were, but I just want to be like, that's.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're all. I mean, a teenager is always going to think any kind of restrictions is the fucking worst. But
Lincoln did it the other day. I said something the other day. I was like, hey man, if you behave this way, I said the next time this happens, we won't be able to trust you. He's like, forever, you'll never trust me with anything ever again. And I was like, hey man, that's extreme, right? Nobody said any of that, right?
I mean, Jesus, why are you going?
It's like I said you can't be left alone with a lighter, right? That's all I said. I didn't say for anything.
It's kind of funny because it's kind of like, I mean, that we couldn't have been left alone with lighters.
No, for sure not. Right?
I mean, we were the dumbasses that were grabbing our fucking mom's Aquanet and fucking making flamethrowers in the backyard.
Absolutely.
Right?
Without hesitation.
Me and my buddy used to take it and we'd spray it on a bat and then light the bat on fire, and it's like we had like a fucking flaming sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I couldn't find hairspray one time, I went into my old man's shop where all the Weldon sprays and chemicals were. And I was like, let's try this shit. It's like this.
You had top tier flammables.
Bomb. You know what I mean? It was like, I thought I was going to blow the backyard up. Like, if it's even possible, that's what I thought was going to happen. I was like, well, this is how I'm going.
And also that, too, you have to look at the...
Because it came back. You know what I'm talking
about?
You
look at, at least for me in my instance, because there's been several moments in my teenage years where I dabbled in, like, explosives and incendiaries.
Right, yeah.
Right? And so...
Yeah, small town Texas.
How many... Right.
Nothing else?
It was like, back then, it was like 3,000 people.
Yeah.
We were out in somebody's, pasture.
Yeah.
I remember I visited my cousin in Houston one time, and he was taking condoms and filling them up with oxyacetylene.
Yeah.
And then putting them in a brown paper bag, and then like twisting a fuse and lighting it on fire. I was like, how many times he could have died in hindsight? How many times he could have died
all the times
before?
Yeah.
Before you even got to where we were lighting the bag on fire, and then we'd run, and then boom, and be like, yeah, but like 6 times up to you putting it in the ground, you could have died.
Yeah.
And we would have been close enough that we would have died.
Oh, for
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? It's not like we were still keeping distance while he was doing all this shit. We were looking right behind him.
Yeah, and nobody's doing, outside of a handful of delinquent kids, because, like, I'm looking at mine and all their friends, and it's like, oh, nobody's doing now or then when, like, my daughter was little and Lincoln, it's like nobody's shooting Roman candles at each other anymore.
Oh, no.
And I was like, well, what, are we not doing that anymore? And they're like, well, no, that could, that's horrible. I'm like, oh, you can't, we don't shoot explosives at each other? And they're like, no. And, like, BB gun wars.
We don't throw firecrackers at each other anymore?
We don't do M80s and BB gun wars. And and they're like, no, what is wrong? Your hand could blow off. I'm like, well, I know you could lose a hand, but that's not. It's neither here nor there.
Right. Remember the whole gag was like you couldn't make a fist.
Oh, yeah.
If you're gonna blow a black cat in your hand, you had to keep your palm open. Otherwise, if you close it, it's gonna blow your fingers off. Right.
Right.
And so you'd get to that point to where you just light a fucking black cat right in your hand and pow.
And we had no
giggles
scientific
like shit.
proof of any of that. That's just a bunch of little bro. You know what I'm saying? That's like bro science at a little kid playground science is what that should be called.
Right.
And we did it all the time. I was like, oh yeah, and they're like. Yeah.
I mean, that was the one. Look,
BB gun wars.
If there was one thing that we did take away from that era, was that you had to become self-sufficient. You know 100%. What I mean? You had to learn how to take care of yourself.
Well,
right. But also, it also left us with a lot of free time and a lot of time to wander and a lot of time to group up. And when you get several,
they left us alone.
When you get a gaggle of dumbasses, you know what I'm saying? That's where you're fucking blowing up shit in the pasture.
I'll tell you, the 2 quick things would be, so the skateboarding thing, right? I had my whole skateboard crew constantly, we're talking from like 4th grade to 10th grade, right? This was pure what I did, right? All the time. But like, because you're zero supervision and surveillance and whereabouts and any of the things, and nobody, right? And it's not like any older kid was going to tell you to not do something because they wanted to see what would happen, right? But it was like we drug our quarter pipe, slid it underneath the basketball goals, which we did that all the time. But normally it was because it was covered and smooth, right?
Right.
So everybody would bring their ramps to the pavilion where the playground was.
Right.
But we did it one time, and right under the basketball goal, and I watched a dude who's a far better skater than I shoot up, grinds on the goal, and then drops back down and lands it. And for whatever reason, my oldest brother goes, hey, you could probably do that.
Yeah, hey.
Right? Now, he's right. Let me clarify. He is 100% right because
but also he's also gaslighting you.
Right. So I took off, I shot up that ramp. I 1,000% got off the ramp, grinded my back trucks on the basketball goal.
It was all
like
going
an
to
awesome
plan.
badass. Right? And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then I popped my tail up, which caused my wheel to go down, which caused it to go into the net because nobody took the basketball nets off.
Oh, yeah, no.
And so it grabbed the board. The board went this way. Well, I went down. Well, I don't have no board to land
10
on,
feet.
so I can't pull my feet, and it's off of my feet. And now I'm 10 feet in the air, and I go face first into playground concrete. Not nowadays, not that mushy shit. I'm talking.
No, this shit'll stand the test of time. There was no give.
I still have a scar on my lip for it because my tooth went through my bottom lip.
That well-made mirror shiny finish. Mirror shiny. Yeah.
Just you could when the sun was there, you glossed.
Just roll a ball in a direct line straight. Back when craftsmen were craftsmen. You know what I'm saying?
They weren't just hammering it out.
No, it was a bunch of 50-year-old alcoholics out there fucking laying that shit down perfect.
It was glossy, right? It was shiny, and I never understood. I was like, wow, how is this? When like I look at my driveway looks like cracked shit.
So much so that they didn't want to ruin it by painting like basketball lines.
For sure.
So they would just use tape.
Yes.
Right? And then at some point that tape would start to fucking peel up. Well, they fucking peel it off.
Yeah.
Put new down there. They didn't even want to fucking ruin it with paint.
Yeah, and then like over time that tape would leave you know what I'm saying? Like the nature would give it the lines. It's like, hey man.
Yeah, it would mold enough.
So that's one of those ones where had there been anybody over the age of 18 there, they would have been like, hey dude. Hey little guy, maybe don't do this one, right? Or, hey, guys, what about we take the net off, right? That's the most important part of this story. Yeah. It's not that I wasn't capable of being
that's the problem with
like,
being young and dumb. It's like you probably know it's probably a good idea, but you're not committed to the effort it takes to ensure your safety. You know what I mean? But you just fucking send it. That's the problem now.
Yeah. And the key here is that, and, you know, we've talked about it ad nauseum with things. When something has to change either at a job or in society, it's because something went wrong.
Oh, for sure.
So the lawn dart factor, right?
Yeah.
Like, in a much larger podcast than ours brought this up recently, but like how many thousands of people had to die at the hand of a lawn dart before they were like,
hey, man.
Okay. Now, I'm still mad about it. I'm still mad that they don't exist because I loved lawn darts, right? Like flinging it to get it to do the thing, and I was like, dude, I'm good at this.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same. That's why they invented shit like cornhole.
Right.
Right. You wanted something where you know it's kind of like you get that sweet trajectory and you land it in the hole. I mean, you used to do the same thing with lawn darts. Right. A horseshoe.
Tofu.
Right.
Tofu is what that is. Right. You want steak. We got tofu.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And look, no shame on cornholing. I mean, a lot of people.
Man.
I mean, I don't want to. It's a large community, dude. You don't want to fucking piss them off.
During COVID, it was the only sport on ESPN that you could actually watch.
Right.
For some reason, it was. Like,
it was the only sport where you had to be fucking 12 feet away. You know what I mean? You were double the fucking national requirement.
Two things happened to me during COVID that I had to watch on ESPN that both baffled my brains, and one of them I watched way too much, and the other one I was so offended by that I was like, I can't. But cornhole championships were just all over ESPN 1 and 2, and I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, I respect bowlers more than I do.
Oh, for sure.
Fucking cornhole.
Finally, at 3 a.m, I'm putting it on, and I'm like, what is this? And I see a group of people, and they're wearing masks, and they're wearing shorts and T-shirts, and they're on what would be a soccer field playing Frisbee soccer. And I was like, what is this? And they're like, we're here at the National Championship of Frisbee soccer. And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, no.
Professional Frisbee?
Hey, man, this whole Frisbee thing is out of control.
I'm out.
I mean, look, I understand. Look, and I get it from a perspective where you're just like, what else can we do? We're tired of hitting balls with bats.
Sure.
Or paddles. Or fucking croquet bats.
And we keep reinventing tennis, by the way, with pickleball and paddleball and all this shit. It's like, hey, it's just tennis. Stop calling it something else.
It's like all the people who wouldn't get into the country club to play with actual tennis was like, hey, fuck you guys. We'll make up our own shit in the backyard.
It's like, what does it involve? It's like, well, a tennis ball and a paddle and a net. It's like, well, that's called tennis.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, well, it's kind of like a racquetball meets it's all, what? And they're like, pickleball, paddle. So you go to hell.
No.
Right?
Yeah, you know, it's the same reason, you know, it was like anytime, like, I get out of boredom, you know, you want to be kind of athletic, but not really athletic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Cornhole is not, you know, you don't have to be a finely tuned, you know, like physical athlete. You just have to like,
and I love it.
Be able.
I'm aiming.
I mean, you know, imagine how many times when you had to take the trash out and you're a kid and then you get to the door and see if you could fucking fling it from the back door into the can because you didn't want to walk another 8 feet to actually put it in the can.
Yeah, dude.
So you just open the door and fucking hang out, you know?
See if you can get that lift.
Get that arc.
Yeah, dude. And I'm having as much fun as anybody with cornhole, right? Don't. But also, by the way, how about the first 3 that you have to do before? Like, it should not be, hey, just grab it and throw it. It should be like, hey, man, let me feel the weight on these. Let me feel the distance.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Like, I need a few test throws before we play the game.
Look,
because this is not everyone's different.
The first earmark, I mean, it's like darts,
right?
Right. It's like you could go to a bar and you can play in a tournament, and they probably have their own darts.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can play those.
Sure, yeah.
But you don't know how those things fly.
No idea.
You don't know if you're counterbalanced or whatever the shit
dude.
is. You just spent $150 on fucking Amazon.
Torn.
Buying a custom set of fucking darts.
In a cool case.
You know what I mean? With like, you know, custom, you know, color, you know, fucking fletchets on it or whatever they're called.
Dude, that is a fun niche resale market for the pawn business, by the way.
Darts?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Darts and pool cues.
You would have a section of like basically bar games, and it's like darts, pool cues, a handful of other things.
I used to go check out pool cues.
Oh, dude.
That's another goal for 2026, man, is I want to find a place to go shoot pool. I miss pool.
Yeah.
I love playing pool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't require, you know what I mean?
Not that I'm trying to fucking kryptonite her, but and this is actually the phrase I gave to my boy yesterday. As good as I am at piano,
right,
is how good Nicole is at pool.
Get out.
No, and she's got a custom stick over there, and then a really nice stick that I got her at the shop.
Hey man,
she has her own. She got the case.
Look, I'm gonna take another vacation day, and we're gonna go down to that place in town here. We're gonna eat burgers and we're gonna shoot pool.
Dude, I want a burger from there so bad.
And I want your wife to kick the shit out of me. I want to see if she's as good as your.
Yeah, and she'll act like she's not first to do the warm up thing. She'll play a few.
She's gonna fucking hustle, suck you in.
Like, and the deal is, it's a real thing. I get what she's doing. Like the first round, she will be like rough because she's feeling out the table, she's feeling out the vibe, she's feeling it, and it's like okay, and you're like, no, I guess she kind of, and then all of a sudden, something happens. You know what I mean? And you're like, what?
She switches
and she turns the hat around, right?
Meet me halfway.
Dad, I'll take a salad.
Yeah. You know, steak is bad for you. My brother never. Hey, look, my brother never saw Over the Top.
Right.
And so I'm watching it one day, and he's like on his phone. You know what I mean? And he's kind of half-ass watching. And he just right away be like, I'd left that kid at the side of the road 100 miles ago.
Hey, you're better off with your Gramps anyway.
Yeah.
All right? He's rich.
Yeah.
Right? He's got a servant of a legion of servants that are going to take care of you.
You can go hang out with Robert Loggia, who's looked 65 since he was 35 years old.
Never not. He's never
not looked old. He's one of those actors that's like, they've been 55 since 1975.
The whole time, dude. There was never a young Morgan Freeman. You know what I mean? There's never a young Wilford Brimley. It's not like, oh, hey, unless it was vaudeville and they didn't have cameras.
When it was no sound. Before talkies.
Exactly.
Before talkies.
That's the only way. Otherwise, you're just like, man, this guy's 180.
I like how they always make that joke about Cocoon, about like Wilford Brimley was like 43 years old in the movie and looked all of 70. You know what I mean?
It's crazy though, because you're like, wait, and you do the math, and you're like, that guy was 5 years younger than I am now, and they were like, he's an old folks home, and everybody in the movie was only between like 48 and 52, and you're all, is this what we did back in the 80s? But then you find that out with Golden Girls. You're like, a couple of old broads at the retirement community, and it's like, hey man, she was 39 or something when they started the show. It's like,
you talking about not Betty, but the
one of the other ones, like Estelle Getty or Maud.
Oh no,
or
Estelle Getty was probably old, or it's probably the tall
Estelle
one.
Getty
daughter.
was younger. I think she was younger than Maud. I think if I remember correctly, I forgot how that worked, but she might have been younger than. I call it B. Arthur Maud because she was in a TV show called Maud in the 70s. Everybody.
Right. Yeah. No, but she was. But she was. Yeah. They all looked. They were all probably like mid 40s. Yeah. And they were like all looked 60.
Oh, it was such a weird because now, dude, I turn on TV and it's like the other day. What is it? It's that we just gave Chalamet an award for it, but whatever he's in, he's like dating Charlize, and I'm like, hey, she's your grandma's age. Right? She's not even
Charlize Theron?
She's not even a mom's age for him at this point. It's like, hey, dude,
No, she's got to be, what, late 40s? You know what I mean? Maybe early 50s?
I'm thinking early 50s, but it's like, yeah, I'm thinking early 50s.
Yeah.
And, Chalamet's a kid. It's like,
that's my point. But again...
then he's like, oh, that's the lady I'm dating. And it's like, well, Charlize Theron's not what Maud and B. Arthur or whatever.
It's kind of like the Nicole Kidman effect.
Right.
Where, like, Eyes Wide Shut.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, you understood why Cruise was on that.
Yeah, it made sense.
You know what I'm saying?
No confusion.
But even now, like, she was in this movie. I tried to watch it. I couldn't finish it. It was where she was, like, banging some young dude.
Yeah. I didn't start it, but yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, like Antonio Banderas is her husband or something.
Yeah,
right?
and I'm like, the plot didn't really get me, but I was kind of like, if there was one takeaway, I was like, fuck, man, Kidman still got it.
Yeah, some like 22-year-old intern or whatever was banging.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, dude, it's weird, and without doing the full like.
And like, look, it's clearly she's had work.
Yeah, that's a given.
And I'm not shaming her. I'm not shaming her for that. Some people when they do it, they kind of do it, and they kind of say, hey, I just want.
Some do it tastefully.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? Just a light touch up. Yeah. I don't need, Madonna.
We need full Madonna.
Yeah.
Nobody
needs
Little Kim. You seen Little Kim lately?
Did we talk about this guy? Whoever this fucking miracle worker is that
reverser?
The reverser.
Jesus.
Because I think Madonna went to go see him because she was just in an ad the other day, and I'm like, yo, that's not the same broad you fucking saw 4 months ago.
No, dude. I remember there was 4 months ago, she brought Drake on stage and kissed him, and he was like grossed out by it. He like spits out after she kisses, and he turns around, and looks at the camera like, oh, what the? And then it's like, yeah, I know. And then all of a sudden I saw her in the Gucci hat, and I'm like, oh, did we undo?
It's either she went to the reverser. Or, buddy.
Or she stuck her face. Oh, they photoshopped
They fucking CGI'd the fuck out of that ad.
It's just AI Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look. Nowadays you couldn't put it past her. I mean, if there was a thing if you took AI, and we talked about this fucking at length as well. But like you record her in the commercial, right? And then you go in and you just let AI fucking clear it up, right? And basically, it's a 1-to-1 match. Except she's gonna. It's like this de-aging thing that Marvel tried to do and failed miserably. Right. It was crazy. They tried to de-age Luke.
Right.
And some Marvel Studios, which is probably ILM. Right. Did like these terrible jobs, and some kid at home on his fucking MacBook does it and nails it, and they were like, well, we obviously have to hire this kid.
Right, yeah, we have to.
You know what I mean? Whatever his eye is to figure it out, because when you watch that YouTube video and you see how much better it is on The Mandalorian when Luke shows up, when that kid put his touch on it.
Well, that's and they are so aware of where they fail or where their inadequacies are that when you watch the new Tron, there's an interview with Jeff Bridges that's taking place, and he's in like a blue shirt and one of those professor jackets, the brown corduroy jacket
with the elbow pads.
And he's sitting there talking about the grid. Well, I was watching the behind the scenes thing the other day, and they were like, "Oh no, we didn't age him. We didn't de-age him for that." And they were like, "Oh really?" They were like, "What was AI?" They were like, "No, none of the above." And they said, "What happened?" They were like, we called up Jeff Bridges' agent and said, hey, send us every tape of every interview he's ever done.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just found an interview that wasn't a popular one, right? They were like, hey, this one, and it was long, right? and they were like, hey, if we just take this, all we got to do is a little bit of editing on the mouth, and we'll blur the screen,
Right.
and then we'll just have him talk now. And so it was just
right. You see a young Jeff Bridges, but you don't see the entire conversation, so they don't have to match or like have the
Yep.
be like the
Yeah,
old kung fu movies where
pulling in.
his mouth is moving, but like somebody else is speaking.
They just time it to where like his head nods right and he's smart.
Well, see, that's a creative solution. You know what I mean?
It's smart because
look, especially now,
it worked.
well, even before digital, there had to be somewhere where there was just like either the artist has it or an agency or a talent agency. There's got to be a room.
Yeah.
Or if they haven't digitized it yet, just millions of hours of auditions,
Right.
Interviews,
Oh, for sure.
all that shit is somewhere. And, why not tap from that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm saying you could have fed those old interviews into fucking AI and have them, say
it's
what
like-
the fuck you wanted them to say.
It's like when I feed my voice into AI and then it has me rap an Eminem song, but it's my voice.
Right.
Or vice versa. When I'm like, hey, man, like I did the other day with that country song. It's like I didn't want to sing that. So it's like I sang it, and then I grabbed an AI voice, and it was like, hey, can I get a male country person to sing this? It'll sound cooler.
Right.
Save me time.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if you want to use some, but I mean, it's such a slippery slope, and I don't want to fucking spend another hour on AI because we could.
Ad nauseum.
You know what I mean? But it's just like the idea of like, yeah, you could use this tool to quicken production times, keep production costs down, understand all of that.
Right.
But then, man, just think of all those jobs in the industry where people are just not having to work now.
Yeah.
All these skills like carpentry and set design and wardrobe and
what I think.
I mean, remember when they had people actually draw storyboards?
Yeah. Well, also, dude, I always
They were auctioning that shit off for like the guys that did like Star Wars and all these,
sure.
Fucking Mad Max or whatever it was,
The first one to go, and this person was done by the 70s because by the 70s we had figured out printing, right? But
Right.
the first persons to go from the Hollywood world that were doing set shit were those ones who would do the paint. That was like a Wizard of Oz, where it's like, hey, can you paint a giant field with the Emerald Castle in the background, like 100 miles away?
Yeah,
and
these dudes would paint on a giant cloth.
It was a cloth that was like the size of my garage door.
Yeah,
or more, right? Because I don't think the Wizard.
And they
of
used
Oz
to do
was
that shit
triple
on
size.
like glass. Whenever you'd have like miniatures and they needed to have a background and
Yes.
they needed a
Yep.
Something because
That's
the
exactly
scale, they would just have these people paint out these incredible backdrops.
When you watch an old movie, especially something from the 30s to the 70s, it's like, oh my god, dude! You telling me like 4 dudes had to paint a wall that was the size of the wall of a Walmart, and they were like, yeah. And they were like, oh my god.
Now it's just like a fucking bright green.
Now
like,
it's just bright green,
You know?
And that's even before that was like they just started printing them. They were like, hey, we actually can just print this and peel and stick, and then it'll look the same. And they were like, okay. And now, yeah, dude, I can do it.
They don't have to.
I do it all the time.
You don't have, I remember I was watching this behind the scenes, and they were pointing out they were in like some kind of like old abandoned house, and they were getting ready for the scene, and they had this person there who was the duster.
Oh yeah.
Like this woman who had like a makeup brush and like a can of dust or whatever the fuck it was.
Whatever she's using, talc.
And she's just fucking throwing it on shit, you know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, we're waiting for the duster to finish for the scene. And I was like, man.
Here's the things that happen to, and you can a good reference of something like that would be like the first time it really got used in a way that you and I could see it was when they're on the Hell Planet in Revenge of the Sith
on Mustafar,
and like they're standing there and there's smoke and crackling and kindling and all the embers and all that, and you're like, oh my god, and you're like, oh, this is all CG, and you're like, wow, we can do this now. But I always think of this. What happens is on one hand, and this includes myself and my musical situation, right? But like, just like VHS and DVDs and whatnot, it's like, Yeah, you're right. It is going to kill a lot of these jobs and a lot of these industries and businesses, and then you have to pivot. You got to find a new thing. Either the company does or the people do, right?
Right.
It sucks. It's not fair, but everybody's had to do it since the beginning of time, right? There was once a dude who had to sit there and write a book out, and they were like, hey, turns out, man, we got this ink thing that prints it. And he's like, what the fuck? It's like, yeah, sorry, dude. We don't need a copywriter anymore.
At some point, innovation is going to kill something.
And it happens to
Internet
everybody.
killed the radio star. You know
and
I mean?
watched it change the pawn business.
Or video killed the radio star.
And it did. And it's like, okay, I see what happened. And now you had to be pretty, right? Because that's why when you go look at, like, the original Leonard Skinner, and you're just like, oh, wait, you guys would not be famous now, no matter how good you are.
No.
Like, in the 80s, at least. At least now they're a little more forgiving because of wokeness. But, like,
no, I mean, look, and look, it's another slippery slope. I'm not shitting on Skinner.
Oh, right.
But I'm just saying, like, how many guys, you know, in this day and age, if they were a new band, they'd be doing what everybody else is doing. They'd get a cult following, they'd get a fan following, and then they would just fucking play every place between here and fucking Lubbock.
All the time.
You know what I mean? I mean, they're just going up Texas, up down Texas. They're like, they're doing a fucking W.
Yeah, dude.
It's like a wavelength across Texas.
Yes.
Because, you know, they're selling merch. You know, they're not giving a cut. You know what I mean? The more of the money is coming to them, they can put their shit on Spotify or SoundCloud, and they can get, you know, people can share their shit there. They put out a YouTube video, get a couple million hits.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to.
What they're not doing is having to be pretty.
Right.
And like when video hit, like, I mean, obviously you had people, that's why Elvis and Jim Morrison were so big.
I kind of find you're saying that everything has to be pretty when you base your entire reason on why you love movies is they have fucking
1,000%
pretty people in it.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Well, that's fucking movies.
We're
talking about fucking music now.
Actually, it's not even true though. There was an era of music that I hated, right? I don't know what the hell happened, but I no joke, I opened for both of these bands, but I was getting annoyed with MTV because I was like, hey, what's going on here? And then there was like Smash Mouth, Bare Naked Ladies, and Harvey Danger. It was all just a bunch of nerds who weren't attractive at all, and I was like, what are we doing here? Yeah. And this is like fresh off of like everybody had to be hot. Chris Cornell's up there. He's got no shirt on. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like Kurt Cobain. It's like he's troubled, but he's handsome as fuck. You know, he's blue-eyed and cool-haired. You're like.
And then we had like TLC.
Dude, TLC's gorgeous.
All three of them are fine.
Mark McGrath at Sugar Ray. It's like handsome as fuck. He lands a modeling deal with Calvin Klein and Candies and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, here's
he was a double threat because not only was he handsome, but then he could. Every hot girl imaginable wanted to be in a fucking Sugar Ray video.
Every one of them.
You know what I mean? And even that, what was that? Come, my lady, dude, he just died.
Oh, dude, he just died. But yes, dude, that guy's jacked.
I mean? Yeah, jacked and tattoo, and they had all the girls you ever wanted to sleep with in the video.
Like, why is he wearing a shirt? Right? Yeah. Who needs a shirt? It's not him. He's just got on shorts.
I mean, even Seal was like standing in the ocean with his fucking shirt off, jacked, you know, fucking singing a song.
And then like Smash Mouth came along, and I'm like, this guy's kind of like
these fucking fat dudes up here.
What's going on here? The Bare Naked Ladies.
It's kind of like Blues Traveler. I was like, it was like.
Bare Naked Ladies.
To be fair, I was kind of like, man, I need to fucking learn how to play the harmonica.
Yeah, that's all you needed.
Just need to be a fat dude and play
the
you know, maybe I could have got a fucking gig, dude.
Dude, but I remember I was like, what's going on here? We're just letting rock stars. Anybody can be a rock star. But I remember I was at the eye doctor one time, and I was trying to convince my really good eye doctor who had been working with me since 3.
Right.
He's a specialist, right? He's not even a normal doctor. He's like a guy who invented this one laser surgery that they did on me in the 80s. He was like the first one. I was the first patient zero to get it done. And this guy's talking to me, and I'm trying to convince him to let me do contacts. And he's like, what are you thinking? And I was like, I'm just saying contacts. And he's like, I don't understand. I was like, contacts. And he's like, why? And I was like, well, look, man. And I then try to explain, right? Especially then, because my band had just gone on my first tour. I was 15.
Right.
And I was like, look, you know, I'm on stage and I'm taking my glasses off a lot. And he's like, why are you taking glasses off? And I was like, well, because I don't want to be.
It doesn't fucking look cool, Doc. I'm trying to get fucking laid, you cock blocker.
Yeah, dude. And he's like, what are you saying? And I was like, look, man, can we work out contacts? And he's like, well, you understand that you only have one eye and how dangerous this is? And I was like, well, that's why I'm talking to you about it, because what do we do to work it out? And he was like, I don't see why. I said, look, man, I'm trying.
As a medical professional, I do not recommend you do this at all.
I go, well, man, honestly, I said, I'm doing a lot of shows lately, and I'm trying to do this rock star thing. I said, I know it sounds corny. I said, but I'm telling you, I said, how many rock stars without with fucking glasses? And he genuinely looks me dead in the eye, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's well, Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead. And I'm all, hey, okay. I was so mad. I was like,
I mean, fuck, I'd have took.
No, sir.
I'd have took Buddy Holly.
Dude, take Buddy. That's the one he should have used. He should.
Right?
He would have got me.
Why did he go with fucking
years later?
the Grateful Dead?
I was like, that guy's a dork. You can't. There's no dorkier front man than the Grateful Dead's Jerry Garcia. I don't care how much their fans love him. This guy's a dork. He's got a dumb haircut. He's got the goofy. He's got the rapist glasses on. You know the ones. It's like pedo glasses. It's like, dude, you got the 70s pedo glasses on, and he's up there strung. And I'm like, what? And he's like,
I knew it.
He goes, well, he's one of the biggest rock stars. I'm like,
people never take. It's funny because I know somebody who got a pair of glasses. I don't know, it was a couple years ago, but he puts them on. The only thing I could think of is racist 1950s Baptist preacher. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like he's totally preaching the gospel on Sunday, and then Sunday evening he's having a Klan meeting in the basement of the church.
It's a yellow tint, and you don't know why. It's like, what's going on with
it was just the way the frames look. And I was like, you cannot, look, it's either you got to change these glasses or change your haircut, because this combination is not going to get you fucking anywhere.
You can't have the...
Because every time I see you, I just think about, we got to keep our civilization. What? Yeah,
he's shaking the book at him and yelling.
Right, and he's kind of like in, I mean, God help him, he's wanting to be one of these TikTok minister influencers.
He's got bell bottoms and slick shoes.
Oh, I don't know if he's gone that far, but he's kind of like,
he would have been that guy.
Oh yeah, no, he'd have had like the brown corduroy slacks, the white. He'd have been like, just imagine falling down.
Right.
Fucking Michael Douglas and falling down. This is it's either you're talking about the Lord or you're gonna go fucking murder some gang members who took your parking spot.
Yeah, one or the other.
It's like you gotta fucking you gotta pivot out of this look, because it's not gonna work. Because if I see it, because you're gonna go in, you could be as nice as can be, but if somebody's in there and they just look at that combo and they're like, this motherfucker.
Dude, I have a pair of glasses that are.
He's hand pressing his own manifesto in the basement.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure.
Koresh. I have a pair of glasses that they're clip-on prescription sunglasses, but you 1,000% have to have that clip on, okay? Because the second that clip comes off, you're in 70s preacher pedo glasses.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't realize that with aviators, because you think they look cool. They look cool because they're tinted. The second they're untinted, you're like, huh. This guy might roofie a college girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, I will leave the clip off to creep people out. Like I used to do it to one of my employees. And I would just like stick my head around the corner.
Yeah,
and I would make this
if
creepy
you
face.
know, like if you look, like if you're self-aware of yourself and you look in the mirror and you put those glasses on, you're like, oh no.
No. Dude, it was one of those choices where I was like,
ever.
Because it's a magnetic clip, and I stuck the clip on, and I was like, dude, I'm Iceman, dude. I'm like cooler than Goose.
But it's funny you talk about, because you might as well go ahead and just have the yellow tint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're always in shooting glasses. You know what I mean?
Yes. But dude, you pull them off, you pull that cover off, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, dude, what? You can't babysit my kid.
Yeah. No flat top. No. With the combination of the Ray-Ban yellow tinted shooting glasses.
Yeah.
It's just, nobody's going to fucking trust you.
At all.
You know what I mean?
You get nothing.
You walk in the door, I'm like, I'm going to keep a fucking look on this fucking guy.
We look at each other like.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck is this dude?
You seeing this?
Yeah. Hey, you doing that, hey, look, get a load of this motherfucker.
Yeah, from far away, I'm over here trying to get some snacks or whatever. You're over there holding court, and then this guy comes in, and I just look over at you like. Yeah.
Let's always know where this guy is in the room at all times.
Exactly. Like, hey,
you're not wandering off.
Yeah.
And if somebody has to like fucking make contact to keep them from disappearing, who's ever closer?
Do whatever
you
know.
You know what I mean? Fucking cause a distraction.
You see him working towards the backyard where the kids are. You're
it's like, hey,
what's up,
hey, man?
Ted?
I don't think I ever met you before. Hey, yeah, come over here and meet my buddy John.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? And then I over.
Oh no, I was gonna go say, nah, man, fucking kids. Do you want a beer or something?
Beer? Over handshake.
You want to see my collection of fucking vintage Playboys? You want to go look at that, dude?
Exactly.
Stay away from the play set, dude.
Yeah, get away from my.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a few times in my life where you're like, nah, that's not.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Whenever I go to get new glasses, it's a process. Now, I used to go and be like, oh, hey, these are the cheapest.
Yeah, these are the.
Let me wear them. I didn't have any awareness to go, hey, man, you might look like, you're just fucking parked in a van at a fucking park.
Yeah.
Watching the playscape. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a couple of bad mistakes.
You know what I mean? And then when I finally was like, oh, yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta put more thought into this process, the selection process. Because if I see it, other people will see it.
I settled in on 2 basic frame styles, and for like the last 24 years, I'm gonna try to mix it up on the next pair. I will say, but nothing that's gonna make me be like,
you know what? You can't look at this stage, John. You can't just start going. I mean, unless
I'm not.
What are you gonna do? Like fucking neon pink frames?
Just something more fun to where you're like, oh, look at him. But it's the shape. We're not branching into pedo shapes. You know what I mean?
No, you're going to keep them more kind of like Wayfarer.
Yeah.
Fucking, they dive bombing us.
Dude.
Yeah, you gotta keep Ray-Bans, Wayfarer. Yeah. I mean, that's where I kind of stick. I kind of stick in the octangle.
I've had like I rotate between
like if I decided
if
I decided to choose circle frames at this point, that's fucking wild, bro.
With the linen,
you come
John
home
Lennon circle.
And you show up to work and they're like red tinted glasses at work. Yo, I'm.
You just send me.
Hey man, just know. I'm gonna fucking be like, hey man, I think we need to fucking talk to John, dude. There's something obviously going on, bro.
You go, hey, let me see him real quick. And
just fucking.
Oh man,
toss him out.
I'm so sorry.
I'm doing this for your own fucking good, John.
And then you go, it was
just fucking crush him in my hand like a beer can.
Yeah, I rarely mix it up from Ray-Bans.
Fucking send me an invoice, dude. I'm doing you a fucking favor.
These got me, but they're still the same shape and size as my other Oakleys and Ray-Bans. They're just Ferrari because of that. I could not. And they were half the price on clearance that day.
Did you say Ferrari?
Yeah.
Well, also, too, I understand that you're going to do it just for the absurdity.
Right. Once I saw blue Ferrari glasses, I was like, are you joking?
But that's kind of like niche. That's not.
Oh, for sure.
That's not like you know, going full linen.
Shape, though. It's the same shape.
It's the same similar shape.
Pair. It's like one of those little rectangles of plastic. Okay.
You're not rolling in with like cat eye.
No, I didn't do
glasses.
No.
I mean, those only work on broads anyway. I mean, why are you? I mean, just a dude.
Dude, anytime a dude tries to do it,
hey, you got a square jaw, even if it's not as square.
Right.
Trust me. Go with the fucking square frames.
Right.
But you know, anytime you get those wireframe, aviator style.
Imagine if we lived in the old days where you had to do that peel, the wire that you had to pull over your ear.
Oh,
and the whole frame was like a little wire that kind of wrapped around the lens. And
if somebody look,
you look like that evil doctor from Captain America, whatever his name was.
Right. My point is, if somebody shows up now with those, look, we're putting this motherfucker on a list. You know what I mean? He's definitely going on the no fucking fly list. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, don't invite this motherfucker back to nothing. Not unless we fucking do a basement check. Yeah. And he ain't got fucking women in cages down there.
No, yeah, dude. The second you look like one of some Nazi scientist from the World War II and 1, you're done.
Like, you just come out. I mean, because you wearing those glasses, I expect a full giant leather apron.
Yeah, I'm going to need a leather apron.
And, like, elbow fucking rubber gloves coming to the elbow.
You got to walk out like this.
And you got the sleeve keepers. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you're just
I'm glad we both exactly knew, yes.
You're about to fucking mangle some poor fucker in a basement.
You just got like, what is this, smart glasses? I'm out.
I mean, smart glasses are kind of crazy now because you don't know when everything's being recorded.
Smart glasses, but yes, you're right. Smart glasses, the whole new thing.
No, I'm sure I'm sure there's somebody,
Man, that's a whole new thing.
Out there trying to commit crime and fucking wearing smart glasses so you can incriminate yourself in court because you think they're not gonna catch you when you post it on fucking TikTok.
You film it and then you can make your video for Strange Days. Remember Strange Days, a movie where you wire in and then that's what you do. You watch whatever somebody else did and then experience it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, no.
That's where we're at, though. We're 2 seconds away from that.
Oh, for sure.
We're 2 seconds away from just a guy committing all the crimes.
Hey, look,
a haptic suit.
We're really close to having, what was that movie with fucking Robin Williams where he would fucking take people's memory and fucking edit it into like a video and show it like a memorial? Mm-hmm. I think it was called, I don't know if it was called Final Cut.
Yeah, I think it was Final Cut.
But that was his job, was like people had implants and when they got them at birth, and they recorded their entire life, and then when they died, you could take that footage, and his job was to kind of edit in like a highlight reel of your life.
The other day,
we're almost there for that now.
The Russian scientists the other day, they made that big announcement. They were like, "Hey, we've figured out memory triggering, and we can." And I'm two ways on this, right? Because on one hand, man, I believe that all of our memories are what shape us, right?
Right.
But on the other hand, I'm like, wait a second. And this dude can remove all the traumatic memories so that people don't suffer from the same anxiety or PTSD. Now, on one hand, that could be a good thing. On the other hand, it's like, well, that may be what's making that person the good person they are, or the amazing person they are, or just who they are.
Yeah, man, when you try to start like creative editing out your trauma, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know how I feel about it. Now, Nicole was just like, she was like, hey, this could be really good because I've had some things in my life that I would happily, and I was like, I know, but would you still be the same you? And she was like, I might be a better version of me, because then I don't have this darkness that I can. And I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, you can go.
I need some trials.
This is a fucking seesaw argument.
I need some trials.
Both sides can be up and down on it.
Now, I do know that I love Paycheck, where they did it to Affleck, and then like he misses a whole year of his life or whatever. He was like, yeah, but who cares? Check it out, And then at the end of the day, wins the lottery or whatever, and hooks up with Uma Thurman. It all worked out, right? I mean, you got to hang out with Paul Giamatti. Yeah. But
other than that,
it worked out.
Yeah, it's kind of like what was that? What is the show on TV now? Fucking what's his name? Not Rob Lowe. Who's that other asshole? He was on Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I just saw it. Yeah, I just put it in the queue today.
Where he's like a hitman. Dempsey. Patrick Dempsey. Yeah. He's a hitman who's starting to have like memory slips.
Yeah, dude, Alzheimer.
Yeah.
Hitman? Jesus.
That scares me more than anything.
It's so scary.
I'm just talking about that idea in general.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because, look, there's a lot about me that's lacking, right? I've been fat all my life, but I've always been quick.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've always been sharp. I'm not saying I'm fucking doing calculus sharp.
No, but
I'm just saying I've been a fucking witty, sharp dude. Yeah. I mean, if there's one thing that I'm going to toot my own horn about, is that.
Yes.
And the fucking idea of that all going away scares me more than like fucking having a coronary taking a shit. You know what I mean? Dude, going full Elvis and fucking dying on the throne.
What's his face? I don't think it wasn't Gene Autry.
And you start thinking about that shit when you hit the fucking 50 mark, dude.
I can't believe I can't remember the country because it wasn't Gene Autry, but a really great country artist just recently passed, but he was battling dementia.
Right.
And he wrote his last country song, and it's called "I'm Not Gonna Miss You," and I like, oh dude. It's a great song, and you're just like...
I'm not... Look, how can you... Like, I almost want to fucking cry now.
Dude,
you fucking... Like, Jesus.
The whole
a guy with dementia, right? A country writer, a legend, and writes, "I'm not gonna miss you."
And then you're just like, "Oh, I see what he's saying."
Well, it's kind of like at the end of Men in Black, where he's like, "I see you around, kid."
Oh yeah,
he's like, "No, you won't."
Glenn Campbell.
Oh shit!
Fucking Glenn Campbell, and he's like, "I'm not gonna miss you," and you're like,
"Yo,
yeah, I'm still here, but yet I'm gone."
See,
I don't play guitar or sing my songs.
I made this point the other day at work. I was like, yo, if you gotta look, I'm not going full Walt Disney.
Right.
I'm not gonna freeze my head, but hopefully, if it gets to the point, look, just put like in a fucking jar. Like it was on fucking Friday.
Yeah.
Where they had that, or Wednesday, where they had that fucking professor was like in a head with a jar. Just leave me that. Just leave me my brain. You can take everything else away. You know what I mean? Just leave me the ability to see the absurdity and talk shit about it and be funny. That's all I'm asking.
I'm gonna go. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what his last name is in the movie, but I know his first name's John. But it's Demolition Man Stallone, right?
Right.
Drop me in that, baby.
Drop you in the
and
puck.
Then, and then when
in
it's
the ice
when
puck.
it's time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, man, if only there's only one person in the universe that could solve this problem. And I'm like, who is that?
I watched Idiocracy the other day. It was, I mean, it fucking holds up.
Great. Yeah.
That's a movie where that guy's kind of like same kind of situation. He's kind of frozen in time, and it's like in the future.
Yeah.
And they go, "We need you to do an aptitude test," and he's like, "You mean I'm the smartest person in the world?" And it's just like that's what it would feel like. Like if you were like if Einstein somehow teleported to now,
sure. Right?
And he's like, "The fuck is going on here?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, it's not so much that science hadn't progressed, but the idea that it's all this other peripheral shit.
Right.
That's going on. They're doing crazy shit with science, and that's still moving forward. But man, it's like, Einstein's walking through a park and there's people with fucking cell phones doing like a fucking TikTok dance in the field. And he's like, the fuck is these idiots doing? You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, dude, I think about that all the time.
Put me back in the ice, dude. Fuck this place.
They do it with, there's a couple different memes that do it. There's some that do it with clothing style and there's some that do it with metal. But there's like one, and it's like, where did we go wrong? And it's showing like Pantera metal, and then it shows like what passes for a metal group now, and you're like, God, what did we do? But then there's the other ones where it's like, where'd we go wrong? And it'll be like it'll be like a group of island boy looking idiots with their hair and the outfits, and then there'll be like 1924, and it's like a group of 19-year-old dudes walking down Times Square, and they're in Peaky Blinders, you know what I mean? They're in these badass suits with nice hats, and everybody looks like...
Hey, look, if I was walking down the street and I saw a group of fucking ne'er-do-wells and they're in fucking three-piece suits wearing fucking, Scullies,
right?
I'm like, man, fuck those guys. I'm going to stay on this side of the street.
You stay away from them.
I see those fucking group of island boys. I'm just like, I hope these motherfuckers do, because I'm going to grab one of them by one of them fucking cones on his head.
He's on his head.
I'm throwing him right into the fucking wall.
Dude, I just saw the only reason they popped in my head today is because one of them they're re-releasing the Island Boy song, and they're with like a new version of it. And I'm like, oh, you guys are still doing this?
That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck still cares?
Nobody. But they're trying to be like, hey, look, remember us? It's like, we didn't like you then.
Yeah,
we don't know how you made millions then, and also it was weird from the start.
Also, I don't even know. Most of them keep getting arrested. I don't know if they ever really made that much money. I mean, they might have made some money. They made something, but you know what I mean?
It was always weirded out. The very first time that video went viral, I was like, wait, why are there two dudes rapping at each other, like in a hot tub with no clothes? This is a weird. Like right away, I was just like, what's going on with these two?
It's like
this is already weird.
My point is there's some young man, or even worse,
there's
a young
new
woman.
That's worse. I'll show you him later, but
right,
yeah,
and they're going, oh my god, they're so hot, or oh man,
one of them's girlfriend is hot as the sun.
Or a kid's going, I'm gonna grow my hair like that. I'm gonna get fucking tattoos and shit. I'm gonna be a fucking rapper, and you're just like, dude, we're doomed.
It's gonna be so hard for me, right? Because I was like such a free spirit, and
he's uglier than a sin.
Right.
Skinny, scrawny, literally look like fucking aliens, and they're like just pulling fucking OF smoke shows. Yeah, I'm like,
bizarre, dude.
We are in the fucking upside down. We're not in the right side. We're totally in the upside down.
Like wherever that parallel universe skewed off, we were both like, hey,
show me where that fucking giant crack
world.
in, because I'm jumping back through that motherfucker.
We're in this awesome world, right? And that's why the Matrix works so well, because it's like, hey, 1999 is a peak of human civilization. Your technology was at the right level.
Right.
Everything was on the perfect path, and then you guys screwed it all up, and you're like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah. And then you look back and you go, huh. Because 99 was right there. It's like, no, we had the internet, we had music, we had digital things, we had it was like everything was really
you remember the good old days when we were just concerned that those assholes in Switzerland were going to open up a black hole and suck the entire planet in it?
Yeah, real sure they did.
You know what I mean? Right? I'm just saying maybe it happened.
Yeah, dude, because they've done it like 5 times. They've accidentally done some shit.
A test and it fucking threw... Look, the sacred timeline is out of whack.
Dude, My
you know what
daughter
I'm saying?
went down some TikTok rabbit hole one day, and I sat down and watched like a 12-minute video one day, and they were like, "Here is the one test at CERN where this did happen," and then they're like, "But let's look at everything that happened after it," and it's like David Bowie dead, Prince dead. Then it was just like all this weird. I was like, "Huh." And then they were just like, music, boom, Island Boys, and you know what I mean? It was like,
right. They take Bowie and they give us fucking Island Boys. Yeah. How is that fair?
Dude, I've always
How is that fair at all?
I've always said it. Like, there are so many times when I'm looking at, like, which artist we lost.
I'd give 100 Island Boys to keep fucking Prince around.
Dude, it's like, and
I'd sacrifice those motherfuckers myself if I knew I could bring Prince back from the dead.
I think about it, though, often, like, keep in mind, yes, I have seen Vanilla Ice 6 times live, but at times I look and go, so wait, Kanye and Vanilla are still here, but, like, I don't have Prince, we don't have Cobain, Michael Jackson. Like,
yeah, we don't have.
Hey, man.
Well, at least early Michael Jackson.
Yeah, early Glenn Campbell, for God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. It's like they take away legends and then they just give us some dipshit.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm like, how is that? Like, is that our punishment for fucking with the timeline? Those guys down in CERN? Sure. Or fucking up the fucking universe, the fabric of the universe is tearing, and we get the fucking Island Boys, and Prince dies.
Yep, that's the deal.
Right. Hey, look, we're just gonna have to get this. We're gonna have to get the fucking Infinity Stones.
Yeah. We're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to get the Time Stones. We're gonna have to fucking travel back in time.
We're gonna have to.
I'm gonna nuke NVIDIA from creating fucking AI chips.
Oh, dude, I swear, that's like the thing the other day I watched the video on it, and
I'm burning CERN to the ground.
It was like 6 of the 12 dudes that have Neuralink, and they were playing video games,
right?
And they were just like doing it with their head, you know. They were just like sitting there staring at the TV, and it was like happening like some movie with a psychic, you know what I mean? Like some horror movie with a psychic doing it, and you're just watching them, and they're just over there like Call of Duty and all over the fucking place, and you're like, oh, and they're like, they don't need controllers.
Hey,
you're like, what?
Hey, look, I can understand that. So
just imagine staring at your TV and you're just like,
oh, you're watching. You come in. So you're just telling me you walk into a room. There's some dude staring at that monitor, and the fucking game's playing, and he's doing everything, and he's just kind of
with the eyes.
He's kind of fucking, fucking peeling fucking pecans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep. He's not even. I don't know.
1,000%.
That shit scares me, dude.
Me too.
Because when did they link that to a satellite, and these motherfuckers got drone chips in their fucking brain, and they're just fucking flying drones from
right now.
Fucking Del Valley instead of in some kind of which is cool. You put on a fucking flight suit, you get into a fucking rad video game setup, you fucking fly a drone, bomb some terrorists. All right, cool.
The problem is, and it is this wacky slippery slope because you don't know and it's kind of like how they sell it to you, and also it's the same way they sold anything to us, right? We all like didn't want to be like tracked or know where everybody are, and now we both carry a tracking device with us at all times that's recording and tracking. But then you think like, man, this Neuralink thing sounds crazy, and then he's just like, hey, by the way, I'm making sure that quadriplegics and paraplegics who can't think or talk can now think and talk, and you're all, oh.
Hey man, that's
and you're
fine.
Like, well, that's great. But then you're like, yeah, but what about the ones that aren't? It's like, oh yeah, it's like if I give it to, Sean Strickland, the UFC fighter, who's also batshit crazy. It's like, well, what if you put this on his head? And he's like, well, now he's a supervillain.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, well, I don't want a supervillain.
So now you're an MMA fighter. It was like in Civil War.
Yeah.
When Bucky and Cap and Iron Man were in that fucking deal, and he's like, you're losing, and he's like analyzes moves and form a response, and she's like, got it. Yep. And then he fucking starts fighting back. I mean, is that where we're headed to? So they're just first round is them just fucking as they're fighting, they're fucking watching tape in their fucking brain, and they're figuring out what they're going to do.
Yeah, and that's just it. They were talking the other day. They did their first with the Neuralink. They had taught somebody like a language and then a skill set that they didn't have before. And I was like, well, now we're in the Matrix. Now we're officially
you just
download. You know Kung Fu? Whoa.
Oh, you want to learn French?
You learn French? Guess what? You know it.
For $99.99, you can download the
that's
French.
Gonna be in-app purchases on your brain.
Oh, You don't think
Dude.
that all that shit's gonna be behind a paywall at some point?
Updates and paywall, and now I forget.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I don't have my passcode. It's like, well,
Hey, do you? It's
like
like,
you can do the update.
are you gonna? Is that how college students are gonna be? They're not even gonna go to campus anymore.
Yeah,
They'll just fucking download their fucking, whatever their, what do they call that? Their
curriculum.
Curriculum. They're just gonna download that shit into their own brain, and then they're gonna write reports in their brain and email them, and they never fucking touch a computer.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I approach this every time I talk about Rogan.
Right.
At that time, he was talking about like, hey, well, we don't need food anymore, or we don't need to do anything physical because now we have Neuralink or whatever, and we can control everything with our brains, and we don't have to lift stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then our brains get bigger, and our eyes get bigger, and our bodies get smaller because we're all on Ozempic, and we're all fucking shrinking down. You don't need food anymore.
Right.
And next thing you know, you're fucking giant, big-eyed fucking gray man.
Right. Yeah.
That's how it starts in Neuralink.
100%, dude.
It's either that or,
Well, yeah, because there's.
I'll be the next John Connor.
There's the times when you're like, oh, this is getting weird. It's like when you see things go awry, and you're just like, this wasn't supposed to happen, And then you see the writing on the wall. Where then there's times where I'm like, hey, man, I remember saying this, and then like there's a handful of things that happened in my life where I did something or told somebody or like a school report, and then I did bad on it. And then now it's proven, and I want to be like, I need to be able to go back to 10th grade and go, hey, Miss Johnson, can we talk?
Right.
You failed me because you said my science was too theoretical. Well, it's true now. And I told you, but you said.
Who's right now, bitch?
Yeah, I wanted to be like, but she was like, yeah, but you're 10th grade with no real research
no formal education.
Like, yeah, that's fine, but I read 400 books to tell you that I think this is a thing, and then now it's a fact, and I'm like, well, this is not fair at all. But like, I'm really good at seeing writing on the wall with stuff. So like, a lot of times I'm just like,
I don't have that,
man.
By the time I want to get into something, I'm already a day late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, my brother did it one time too. He's got a real good sense of it, but like he has the same type of mindset, but it was like he was talking about a specific thing, and he was like, hey man, this is, and I was like, well, this is kind of good, but I knew where he was going to go. And then he was like, yeah, but then we're going to end up here. And it wasn't 3 months later, that I was like, oh man, it just happened. He was right. And my brain does it a lot, but I blame, this is going to sound weird, but I blame music because I know what's going to happen next in music. Right.
Well, yeah.
It's, and by the way, it's not because I have a gift. Every real musician knows what's happening.
You know that, like, I really been trying to find other things to watch. Right. But like we've talked about it before, everything is basically the same plot.
Right. Yeah.
Right. The only thing that makes anything that stands out is the characters. Right. It's the same good versus evil or love story or revenge story or whatever, however you frame it.
That's why there's doctor and lawyer shows since TV began.
I mean, I like this show. It just came out today, The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I was watching some episodes before I came here. And it's the same thing. It's a guy. It's a super smart lawyer behind the 8 ball. Somebody's trying to frame him. Mm-hmm. But how they get you is how they weave the story. And that's going to be something that AI will never be able.
Yeah.
Well, at least now.
Right.
Because like you saying, because we were talking off mic about, I'm kind of like burying myself into fleshing out this story I want to write.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I haven't used AI yet.
Right.
And it's only because it's like I'm really trying to get, because I have everything in my head is just like trying to see, and that's where I think that would be great.
Right.
But also, if I had like just a direct link to something that could take my idea, right, and could take, and not only just the idea of the stories, but the characters, but also the visuals that I have in my head, the way I think about it and how I write it. If you could have all that material out,
right,
you could. I feel like you can make a movie, and that would be rad. But I mean,
rad.
We're so far away from that. You just don't want to lose the creativity. You know what I mean?
And that's what always scares me is like conversations always talk about this, but it's like the whole point of all of this, from robotics to AI, is it should be doing the tedious and dangerous jobs so that we can focus on the things we want to do and the creative jobs and the things that we love, like passionate about, right?
Right.
And And that's the same how I believe.
That's like, when everybody who believes in this universal income.
Oh, right.
Right? It's like if you didn't have to worry about the basics, you could focus your talents on, basket weaving, painting, fucking arts.
Prior to us,
fucking wood carving.
So prior to, I had always been in other people's bands prior to me meeting you. And then I finally decided at one point, like, hey, I'm sick of being in everybody else's band. I'm going to do my own thing, right?
Right.
And then it took me about 3 years to make a thing, and finally did, and I was all super proud of it. But in the last 3 years, right, I've released like hundreds of things. And that's because the job allows me to have so much time to do it, to where it's like, this is what I always wanted. So when people are always asking me, like, hey, do you like, it's like, hey, man, the thing that I love doing is now possible because of this. This job opened that window up to where I can be like, oh, wait, so I can now spend my entire night writing music? Okay, cool.
I always talk about, like, when I was a supervisor, I was a 9-to-5 guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Plus having to fucking cover when people call in sick or whatever, right?
Right.
But now, as much as, like, this weekend I got to work fucking the entire weekend.
Yeah.
It sucks. You know what I mean?
You just came off
of it. You know. But it's only 3 days.
Right. But what's crazy is it sucks. I know that sounds really stupid. It does suck. It sounds super stupid because I had a job that I was doing 16-hour days.
Yeah, fuck that.
Right? And I was doing a lot of them 7 days in a row. And sometimes I'd do it for like 8 weeks straight without a single day off. Yeah. And you're like, hey, wait. And even my old man, and he's like, what are you complaining about?
Go mad,
3 12-hour shifts. I'm like, I know, Dad, but now I hate it.
Hey, look.
Now I'm like,
I was at another agency for a brief period, and when I got there, the part of the reason why I hired on is that, oh no, we don't work 12s.
Yeah.
We'll hire enough people that you just work 8 hours. Right. So whether it was 6 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to 6, you had enough people that could alternate weekends. You would alternate weekends too, but it was still just a 3-person shift. Even if you get off on a fucking Saturday at 2:00, you still had fucking 2 p.m. to fucking 10 p.m. To do shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's even go out, eat a meal, maybe have a couple beers at fucking dinner, go home, be in bed by fucking 11 o'clock.
I said it for years. For all the years I was doing highway emergency, like, most dangerous job I've ever done in my life, and one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. And it tells you that whenever you leave the station every single day. There's a sign. I mean,
you're on a fucking interstate.
There was a sign that every day when you went to the gate to like pull out of the station, it would be like, be safe today. You're about to enter the most dangerous workplace in America.
Yeah.
The highway.
Hey, man.
And you're all,
thanks for that, bro.
And it was really rewarding and really depressing, right, at the same time. And I've told you some, but yeah, I've had some really dark times and a lot of really good times. And I did more good than bad. You know what I mean? Like, I saved more than I didn't. So that's the key. However, I always think about, oh, fuck, I lost my point. I lost it.
John.
I'm over it.
We forgot it.
Yeah, right.
Highway job.
I know, but
dangerous
there was
job.
somewhere I was going to go with it, but it doesn't matter.
Well,
if it pops in, I'll tell you.
But my point is like at some point they were like, oh no, we want to work 12s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was my point.
And I go, hey, okay, but you know what I mean? You're going to work 5 days. You're going to work 8 hours a day. You're going to get off at a decent time. You get off at 2:00. You can go fucking, like you work 6A to 6P. You get off at 6P. You know, you're racing because you got to be in fucking bed by 9.
Yeah.
So you could get up at fucking 4:30 in the morning and try to get enough sleep to function.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you cut that down to 8, and you get off at 2 p.m., you could go by fucking HEB. You can
do whatever you got to do.
You know,
Post
fucking
office,
go
bank.
catch a fucking afternoon fucking matinee, go home, go to sleep, get up, go to work. You're not fucking tired.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's like, oh shit, it's fucking noon. I got 2 hours to go. That's why I love those short days.
Right.
Because it goes by so fast. Because it's like, next thing you know, it's fucking 1:30 and you're like, I'm about to be the fuck up out of here.
100%.
And I'm like, you guys are going to fucking miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a group of days off at a row, but man, whenever you got to work 3 or 4 days in a row and it's 12 hours, you're going to be fucking hating it.
Hate it.
Well, no, but we'll have more time. And I go, okay. And then sure enough, fucking 6 weeks later, everybody's like, oh, we fucking hate this.
Yeah, everybody hates it.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I was going to say about that job. One of the upsides is because they knew they couldn't wear you out. That was the big emotional and mental stress was a huge thing on that job.
Yeah.
So
trying to give motherfuckers PTSD?
Dude. And people, I understand why people didn't last long. Like, I lasted longer than most, right? But I understand why people now, they're like, hey, this is about a 2-year career for most people. But
it's got a shelf life.
The 4 a.m. to noon was my main shift, and you would do nothing more than you would either do 4 days in a row, and then every other week was 5 days in a row. It was a rotation, right? But the 4 to noon thing, it's like, that was a genuine, like I talk about it now where I do overnights, and so it's like, oh, I'm gone here, gone this. But in that case, nobody knew when I left at all, right? Because at 4 a.m., everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
And then when I come home, I'm home between 12:30 and 1. It's like, well, they're not home from school or work. So for those 5 years, everybody here just thought I was just home all the time.
Right.
Because they were like, well, you're always
Do you
here.
even work?
Yeah, everybody was like, what
yeah, bitch, I'm just going and coming home when you ain't
and
here.
It's a weird, right? And even now we make jokes about it, but at least now, like, it has impact where it's like if I come in at like the 5 or 6 o'clock zone. But like then, dude, it was the coolest work shift to ever have because also I would have a little bit of breakfast in the morning right around 4 or 5 a.m. But when I got home, it's like, hey, I got lunchtime and dinner time. And I'm spending all the days with everybody all the time. And then the rotation was for the weekend. So it's like I only worked one Saturday every year. The only obligation was you had to do at least one Saturday a month. And it's like, okay, that's
but when it's 8 hours, dude, it knocks out.
I would pick the one that was the same shift if I could. So that way nobody even knew. They were just like, hey,
I only put up with as much as shit as I do on my current shift because it just so happens that my Thursday before I go into my weekend off is also payday.
Right, I know.
So I get paid and I get off at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And I fuck off out of there. I got a little money in my pocket and I got 3 days. Now that is what I focus on.
Right. As
now,
much
working
as I hate,
like going in tomorrow morning and working the next fucking 3 days in a row seems horrible.
You know what's funny is I've figured it out now too. Like Friday is fine. It's the Saturday that I hate.
Yeah.
Right. And then the
even
Sunday,
on days.
Yeah. The Saturday or the Sunday comes and I'm kind of relieved because I know it means hey, just get through this and then you're done. But
it's like the fucking final lap.
I love calling my old man at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Because I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing? He's like, oh, she's cooking some breakfast. What are you up to? And I'm like, just got off of work. And he's like, oh, yeah? And I'm like, yeah. And then in my head, I'm like, and I don't go back till 10 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even know if this is a real job. Right?
Right.
He'll be like, oh, when you work again? I'm like, well,
it's
Wednesday
like
at 10 p.m.
It's like on the days where, like, sometimes I'll, on my short days, I'll switch. I'll work the swing. I'll work the 2 to 10.
Yeah.
And it's usually just like on a Wednesday. And then, it kind of sucks I get off at 10 o'clock.
Right.
But I know that when I come back the next day at 6 a.m., I'm only there till 2.
Right.
And I get paid.
Yeah.
And I get the fuck out of there.
It's the best.
But it gives me another day of fucking off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who doesn't love that?
Monday and Tuesday.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? Doing whatever I want. I'm off.
That's the other thing is I like that. Like I get off early and then I'll be like, oh, this sounds like breakfast. Sounds like I'm going to Brookshire. Or something like hitting Monarcha. Like let's. And
that's what I told those people. I said you're gonna dread when that fucking 3 or 4 day pops up because they weren't doing like how we do it, like where we get the weekend. They were doing like 4 days.
Yeah.
And I'm you guys are gonna fucking be hating this fucking place on that 4th day when you're at hour 10 and the last 2 fucking hours seem to drag on like you're in fucking slow motion.
My old highway emergency guys, they have some they launched some new overnight shifts that are different than the ones I would do occasionally, but it's like they'll do them on the busy nights. So it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday or whatever, but they'll do an overnight shift on those 3, and then those dudes don't work again until the next. I'm like, oh, that's the deal, right? Because they do it until like Sunday at noon. Right? So it's like whatever it is, they're working several hours and several long shifts on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they're off Sunday morning or whatever. And then they don't even think about work, right?
No.
And it's not a job where you have to like do cases and paperwork. So it's like once your shift's over, you're not thinking of other than the mental
No,
trauma.
and well, yeah, and it's kind of like me now. It's right. It's like, hey, look, I just got to give a fuck for 3 days.
Right. I just got to care.
You know what I mean? Yeah. As long as, and like on, like always on Sunday, man, I gotta like, I make sure I tighten up I go back and I check all my shit, make sure everything's tightened up.
Yeah.
Because when I leave at 6 p.m. on Sunday night, I don't give a fuck what happens.
Dude,
you know
it's funny you say that, because I'll tell you a quick life lesson story. My son did a thing, so he had to be taught a lesson, and so I was teaching him about something. And
I know what you're talking about.
I showed him this story, and then he goes, "Well," I said, "This is not a good thing," and he goes, "Not my problem, dude. I have never snapped my dad head around."
Is that not the worst answer to get from anybody?
I lost my damn mind, and only because you figured out majority of my jobs in my life have been dealing with other people's
shit because they leave behind.
Want like this weird servitude thing that I have, and I'm like, hey man, what did you just say? I got the meanest face. I did my aggressive hand, and he was like, I'm just saying it's not my problem. I was like, hey, you know what, man? I was like, we do not, and I was like, we do not talk like that.
You gave him the shadow dog?
Dude, I gave him the shadow dog, and I was like, weird. And I was like, do you know? And then I was like, I explained one thing, and I was like, this was my call.
Check that. That's a great fucking band name, Shadow Dog. Shadow Dog.
And I was like, man, what would my job be like if it rang? And I was like, not my problem. I was like, you know what is my problem? I said, and if
I told you I was working when I was out in West Texas. We had a guy who was doing the same thing, and fucking 911 rang, and sometimes you know how it is. Sometimes we'll get 911 calls that'll just jump from one county to ours because they're right on the border. Mm-hmm. And this guy calls in, and this is a woman, and she's hysterical. She found her grandbaby like in a pool, not swimming. Right. I don't want to get fucking banned on YouTube.
Right, but still.
Right. And he goes, so what's your address? And she gave him the address, and he goes, oh, that's in so-and-so town. Not us. And just hangs up on her.
No.
Oh, and just like he's like, call these people. And she's
didn't even transfer.
Yeah. That's my point.
Yeah, dude, he just cold clocked it.
Just like, hey, you'll have to dial the local. That's not our deal.
Like, I happily transfer things all the time, but that's because it's fine.
Also, if it's a fucking emergency going on,
there are times when jurisdiction.
You just stay on the phone and make sure that
100%.
Because if you get enough information and you kind of know what's going on, and these people are fucking losing their mind, because obviously, if somebody found a child not swimming in a pool, but in a pool.
Yeah, I've done it before where
you got to give them and say, hey, look, this is the address. This is in your county, but I transferred her. This is what's going on. This is where they are. Because, those people are trying to tell you. But, I mean, with something like as traumatic as that, I mean, you've been on the phone with people who've had emergencies and just could 100%. Not keep it together. And it's no blame.
Recently.
No blame. Mm-hmm. But it's just like not everybody is fucking compartmentalized to be able to, like, pull their shit together because they're experiencing this massive trauma.
I love that about
if I got any kind of skill from this job for almost 20 years, is to fucking compartmentalize. It's like, oh, that happened? Oh, fuck, that sucks. What are we going to do? And they're like, why aren't you freaking out? It's like, hey, man, you can't change anything.
Problem. Right.
I can't change anything. Right. What's the solution? Because that's all we do. We get information and we try to fucking find solutions. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you're losing your shit when these people need you to fucking figure it out, you're not doing them any service.
I told that to my mother-in-law the other day. She was asking me something. I was like, hey, I don't organize people into places. I was like, I do that at work. I'm not doing it at home. You guys want to map this out and figure out what we're doing tonight? That's on y'all. I spent my whole day doing that. Is it true
most of the time that it's, innocuous shit?
Yep.
But
sometimes
90%, but that 10% hits, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
Oh, my house is on fire, and I can't find my grandbaby.
Yeah. No.
I can't get to my grandbaby.
Mm-hmm.
Now inside, you're going, "Holy fucking shit!"
Yeah, dude. Right.
Yeah.
But
you can't. You gotta fucking focus.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys you work with was on my shift one day, and that's what he was like, I knew how serious it was by your tone because my radio tone changed.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, this is 1,000% serious because I've never heard John sound like this.
Well,
and
yeah.
I was
well,
like, I wanted it to be so clear.
Everybody,
to the entire...
look, we all have the tone.
Yeah,
I have the
like,
tone. You have the tone.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was just like, oh,
jury's still
shit.
out on a couple others, but
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
But when, most of the time, I mean, look, it's probably not the greatest thing, but when it's kind of like the fucking dog is fucking barking next door.
I like to use my snarky tone
and
for
you're
dumb
like,
things. Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Can you go to blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
But when that fucking, when that fucking siren hits and you're like, any available, units, everybody within the sound of my voice get to hear.
Yeah.
You want to portray that different tone. They're like, oh,
fuck.
it.
Right.
It's going to, because most of the time I'm mildly annoyed of like any other calls that's not, and I'm not, look, it sounds bad, but I'm not saying that I don't care.
Sometimes I don't.
But when you call because the dog is in your trash again versus, we just got clipped by an 18-wheeler and I can't, my kids aren't responding to me.
Yeah, that's important.
You know what I'm saying?
No, when we had a repeated calls about
that's when you want me to give the most fucks.
Yeah.
If I trim down my fucks because, you're tired of the dog barking in the morning because you work night shifts. I mean, I fucking get it. I used to work night shifts and fucking dog next door. I wanted to murder several times. But I didn't call the cops. Yeah. Right? I just fucking figured it out.
Yeah.
I would assume that when anybody gets those calls, they're like, okay, man, we'll send somebody over there. But like when the fucking seconds count and it's something serious, that's when you want. That's what I say my fucks to give for. Yeah, and that's when you get all my fucks then.
Yeah, you got to know it's channeling that. It's like, hey, I'm in personality A, right now I have to turn it on. I
have to shift into serious.
It's got to be like an actor.
Oh yeah, a night agent.
Or
when you get to,
it could be like night agent. It could be like this show I recently watched, Wonder Man.
Oh yeah, we're gonna finish out this last bit of the podcast
where he channels, his acting abilities.
As we get to that, and I like just talking random shit, and then right at the end, we just kind of bring it back around to like what we were actually trying to talk about from the beginning. But hey, this is how the show goes.
This is how the show goes, baby.
Take it or leave it. But as much as I enjoy, look, I love this Marvel Spotlight thing that they do.
Me too.
We got Werewolf by Night was a Marvel Spotlight, and it's fucking great.
I love that movie.
You know what I mean?
I didn't like the colored version more than I like the black and white
version.
No,
the black and white fucking works.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, because of the set design and the characters and the wardrobe and all that shit, black and white
meant to be that
was supposed to be shot. I don't know why they gave out a color version. Only because they wanted more people. Because there's some assholes out there be like, oh, fucking black and white.
It's like people who won't read a movie or somewhere. It's like, hey, dude, just
go fuck yourself.
Just deal with it. All right, Apocalypto. It's going to be in a different language.
Yeah. And it's not going to be Spanish. Yeah, it's not going to be something that you might have taken in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, not everybody.
This is like full-on Mayan, Aztec,
nobody knows
dead language.
Dead.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But get over it because other than that, Apocalypto is a fucking great movie. Right. You know what I'm saying? Despite what you think about Melly Mel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is what I liked about it. It was and this is what I feel like they should be focusing their energy on in between like the big projects.
Yeah.
Because, we got fucking Doomsday coming this year. Yeah. Right? And we got Brand New Day coming.
Is he going to be in it?
Who?
Wonder Man.
I don't know.
I was hoping at the last episode that I thought they were going to do the thing, and I wanted it, and I watched all the credits.
Oh, you thought like somebody was going to like have a post-credit scene?
No.
He was going to show up somewhere?
I thought cooler than that. I thought it would do the blackout screen and then go, Wonder Man will return in
Doomsday. Yeah.
And it didn't, and I was mad. I was
like,
okay.
I mean, and that's fine.
Anyway, go on. What were you going to say?
My point is that, they tried, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier was good.
Buddy cop.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's kind of like, and You know, and then you had the atrocity of Secret Invasion. You know what I mean? And then Hawkeye was really good.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I wish they would, you know, I hope, you know, Renner shows up in Doomsday or Secret Wars or whatever. But my point is, it's kind of like a nice break from, like, they made a movie. It had, you know, they brought back fucking Trevor Slattery.
I mean, that was the
Kingsley.
best thing they could have done. And Ben
you know
Kingsley's
what I mean?
The
and
best.
it just emphasized my point of where is this Marvel Spotlight movie of our Wong and Shang-Chi
100%.
in fucking
it was
China.
So well done.
You know, having a buddy comedy series. I don't like the fact that you know, they probably should have just put it all together. We should have just had a Wonder Man movie on streaming. You know what I mean? This episodic shit, because you're only getting like 20-minute episodes, and I know they can't do that. But they should have just fucking cut it down. It should have been like 2 or 3, 4 episodes or whatever, and they should have keep it like that. People would have been okay with it.
For sure.
But the fact that they want to stress this shit out because they want people to subscribe to Disney Plus and get that bundle that they're fucking, you know, trying to shove down our throat.
You know how I know it was good? It's because the last podcast I specifically said I have less than no interest in watching it, right?
Right.
I had less than no interest. So this is one of those times where, like, I do that thing where I curb my expectations. This one I went in with, like, I don't even want to push play, right? Because I just was like, I don't.
You only wanted to watch it because we were going to talk about it today.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to watch the first 10 minutes of this garbage, right? And I was like, this, because, and keep in mind, I'm coming off that Ironheart debacle.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is not, I don't even want to push play on whatever horrible scenario you're about to put me through. And I pushed play, and it reeled me in the first 10 seconds, and I was like, all right, I see what you're going to do. You're going to kind of suck me in and then get terrible.
Right.
And then I and I don't normally, I'm not a binger. I did the entire, and I was like, that's why I texted you immediately, like, okay, I didn't expect this.
Right.
I expected something so vastly different that by the end, I was super jazzed when he stood there and the light and the sun, and I was like, oh, he's, and I was like, that felt like the coolest origin type scenario that and I'm like, where's this writer?
And I maintain that should have been Disney and Marvel's, that should have been the primary focus of the streaming. 100%. Was to give you these, outside of these big tentpole movies, these big summer and, you know, events and Christmas events where they drop all these big movies. They should be filling in the gaps of whatever's going on in this universe by these TV shows, right? And they kind of did that with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Right. But the thing is that there was it was kind of loosey-goosey, because then, like, you know, at least with the Infinity Saga, every movie was woven together at some point, was going to affect a further movie, or you learn something, another aspect from a different movie. Yeah. I mean, it was brilliant. You know what I'm saying? You know, but they could do so much more now since they have, like, this ability to have, like, these TV shows on streaming. They want people to come to stream. They still want people to go try to watch it in the theater. I understand box office. But, like, in between the big movies, man, you could do so much by filling in the gap. And introducing new characters and giving, like, fucking, you know, Trevor Slattery a fucking redemption arc.
That's the best thing they could have done. It was,
you know
so
what I'm
cool.
saying?
The turn he took.
My brother didn't understand why I was so giddy.
Oh, dude, I could
you
not
know
have
what
been.
I mean?
Hey, man, once I saw a specific scene and he was on the phone, I was like, oh my God, I know what he's going to do. And in my head, I was like, but me figuring it out just made me super excited for him to finally do the thing I wanted him to do. And then when he did it and he had his the outfit and the ring, I was like, yes. I was like, this is everything I've ever wanted, because I was like, that's what I loved in his character early on. That
was such a curveball in Iron Man 3 when you figure out that this Mandarin guy's just this fucking drunk
dude, and now
fucking actor.
Now not.
And then he shows up 10 years later. You know what I'm saying? Or
it? Yeah. It was so cool. And, like, everything about, and, like, what was crazy is there wasn't anything that I didn't like about it. Even the episode that has nothing to do with anybody, that's about the doorman, right? It's this one right here. But it's a great episode. I was like, oh, this is, you gave us an episode that has nothing to specifically.
Yeah, it's not connected to anything, but still connected in a way because one of the characters was in a big part of like the early movies.
It was cool because of one thing. This Doorman episode was cool in the way that they didn't have to give you this episode. And it's only based on one sentence he said in the first episode where he's like, oh, here, sign this for your doorman clause. They could have just left it at that.
Right.
Instead, they're like, we're going to give you a whole episode explaining
or
this.
they could have give you a monologue, kind of like a breakdown,
sure.
Like a Cliff Notes version of why this thing exists.
They fleshed out a character.
Yeah.
And a personality to where, and hey.
And then they give you something cool to think like, is
the Josh Gad thing? You know I hate him, and so it was the best thing he could have done.
Look, yes.
He won me over. Right? He's singing the douche. I was like, this is exactly what I picture him as.
Right.
Thank you for leaning into this, because this is the kind of piece
And now
of
it's kind of fun to think at some point, when is this guy going to show back up? You know what I mean? Where's Doorman? Doorman's in the raft or at this mega prison where they show at the end.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just like I thought we were gonna get the post-credit scene of like Doorman like sitting in his cell and like having like a little indigestion and then and then fucking Josh Gad just falls out and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, dude. He's like, don't apologize.
His eyes turn yellow or something cool.
Or no, it's like, I saw so much from where I was at. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool too.
But I get it why they didn't do it. But it would have been to me it wouldn't have been too much to me to have like a little post credit scene to have him just kind of like pop out. You know what I mean? Yeah, shawarma. You know what I mean?
I loved, and I'm not trying to give it away to anybody, but that whole like the entourage feel of so many moments where I was like, oh, this is real life in life, and also the little tidbits that were specifically for uber nerds. Okay. Yeah. There's no reason in a million years across the 6 to 8 episodes, whatever it was, that Yahya should ever have to mention Morpheus, and yet he mentions Morpheus. And you're like, my nerd brain was like, hey man, thank you, Disney. Thank you, Disney.
For making it fucking dumpster fire canon.
But acknowledging, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You understood. You're like, did he just bring up the Matrix? And you're like, oh my God, dude.
I thought you meant Morpheus, like the vampire.
No, not Morpheus. Morpheus.
No, he was referencing.
He referenced
Morpheus
the Matrix and Morpheus, and then he is the new Morpheus from the Matrix, and you're like, did you just do this?
It's like that fourth wall.
Thank you. Right? Yeah. And it was like, oh, you didn't. And then all the little, just the Hollywood references and the real actors and then the fake actors.
And that's what I'm, I was watching this little bit of this internet show about it. And they were kind of like, oh, well, it wasn't heavily CGI. It probably, wasn't expensive. And one guy was like, no, when you have all those fucking, like when they got real actors to come in, and that was the beauty about this show was it was about an actor with superpowers,
right?
He wasn't like a superhero wanting to be an actor.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was trying to keep that shit under wraps,
right?
And then him and Trevor's relationship and him trying to navigate Hollywood and having all these people and they kind of show you the inside baseball. I mean, most people know.
You know what I think? And this is a completely different approach than they've made on a lot of the other shows, be it from the shows that even if I like them, I'm not stupid. You know that. You know, I can go, hey, I love Echo. Real specific, though. I'm not going to tell you it's a good show. I just love it. You know what I'm saying? But this one, they had the mindset that the people over at Mandalorian had. And they were like, how about we make a good show? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, but how do we tie it into everything? And they're like, make a good show first, period. And we'll worry about the weaving in as we go along.
Well, that's why the thing with
make good show first.
With Trevor kind of having this redemption arc, and you're also having this guy that is trying to. He doesn't want to be a superhero.
Right.
That's the last thing he wants to be.
Yeah.
But like he's burdened with this ability that he tries to keep under, not well, but he tries to keep in check. You know what I mean? He's fucked up his apartment, but
100%.
But he knows that as soon as this has become public knowledge, he's done with what he wants to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's really trying to keep that shit under wraps because he really wants to be an actor.
Yeah.
And then they pick a excellent actor, and they put him with fucking Ben Kingsley,
Sir Ben Kingsley, and they even made jokes about him being a sir and Sir Ben. I was like,
right.
Did you really just make a reference? It's like that guy is really a sir. That guy is nice.
You know, that's what I feel like that's where the paywall and the streaming platform, especially when you're doing things that's in a certain universe.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that they haven't gotten right, other than maybe Andor.
Right.
Because Andor was the same way. Andor was kind of like he was a character in one of the big movies. Right. This is just a little expansion on him, you know, during like the early part of the rebellion, or, you know, in the thick of it, really.
Yeah.
Where they're, you know, trying to fight back against the Empire.
Right.
But they just made it human.
When you do it right.
That's why my favorite line of that show, I think we talked about it before, was when he was in that cafeteria and that lady was trying to give him information in order to to fuck the Empire over. And then she just says, you know, I've had a great time here.
Yeah.
I've made friends. Yeah. We fucking hang out. And then we went into that big deal about, you know, I mean, that's who's dying on the Death Star.
Yeah.
You know, some poor guy in the trash compactor is just, you know, burning up like everybody else. But, you know, he's just fucking changing sheets in a room.
They do karaoke over at the Death Star bar on the weekends. You know what I mean? She's playing bocce. You know, it's like.
I go, hey, man, I got me a, what's that poker game they play?
Yeah, whatever that is.
Sabak.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I got a fucking hot Sabak game tonight. I'm going to take all their fucking weekly credits, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
And then you forget about that, like that human side.
Because there had to be 8 billion people. That's the size of a planet.
Right. You know and it's like these poor people who are, you know, probably it's either not by choice, or it's like, it's the fucking only thing that's.
Draft. You know what I'm saying?
This is the only thing that's paying.
Yeah.
It's working for the Empire. Either they murder you, or you're fucking, you know, changing out the bins in the fucking Death Star. And just so happens you just on that thing when they decide to fucking turn it into dust.
Yeah.
And all you did was fucking try to keep your family from dying, and you're just fucking working for scraps, and you're just fucking burning up in the Death Star. We sidetracked.
Hey, dude, all I know is I lost also, and we're not going to spoil anything for anybody, but I just want to say the best thing that show did that was the hilarious in-jokes and the way it all panned out, but fucking Joey Pants.
Oh, yeah.
I lost my mind.
Yeah.
Twice. I was just like, this could not be any more. So that's like you
because
said. Because
this show is, even though it's kind of keeping in kind of like, I mean, in the broad strokes, it's a superhero show. But in the minutia,
but it's
and that's what I'm saying. When you see like Panty, you know, Joey Pants showing up, and all these other great actors,
way they used him, I was like, you couldn't have done that any better.
Right.
They used the.
It's almost a parody.
It's perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
It's what we needed.
It brings a little levity to, you know, world-ending cataclysmics where you need like the fucking Avengers.
Yeah.
This is like day-to-day shit.
Because in my head, and I will say this, right?
They tried that with remember when they had that show where these people worked at like it's kind of like the city planning office, you know, and they're trying to figure out after like fucking Thor levels of fucking building.
Yep.
And you know, and these poor guys are trying to like fucking figure out how to fix it or do something. Mm-hmm. That didn't work.
Or that miserable failure where it was like Bruce Wayne's cousin is he works at an office and nobody has powers or whatever it was called.
Yeah,
that was garbage TV show.
No, they got it right with Wonder Man. They gave us a little something different, still in kind of like the same vein. I suggest if you're a Marvel fan, and you're a deep dive nerd like we are, in the lore, I think you'll enjoy it.
I agree with that,
and I think that we're about to wrap this session up.
Yeah, it gets my stamp of approval, and I rarely do any kind of wrecking.
Yeah, you know? Go watch Wonder Man. It's worth it.
Should we go? Yeah.
And we're going to bring this to an end.
Take care, folks.
Back in 2026. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
John's still alive.
Yep.
More to come.
More to come, baby.
We'll talk to you guys later.